Hey there, Dino. Been a while. I would hope that what I bring to you today does not come as news, but since the FBI has focused exclusively on tormenting right-wingers, even as leftists have relentlessly terrorized our country, I figured I should not assume this. You may recall me bringing some names to your attention: Tom Keenan, Tom Massey, and Mike Longo Jr. They traveled from Philadelphia to Charlottesville with the intent of initiating violence against me and my associates, an intent they carried through on with remarkable success. Seeing as to how you and everyone else knows this and chose to let them get away with these crimes, what follows should come as no surprise to anyone. Recently, the Philly PD announced that they were seeking the identities of two men wanted for robbery. Their victims were United States Marine reservists, whom the assailants predictably called Nazis and white supremacists before pepper spraying them, striking them with instruments, and stealing one of their phones. One of those men has been arrested, and his name is Tom Keenan. Keenan, you're surely aware, was actively assaulting people on August 11th and hadn't gotten his fill by the 12th, so he ran around pepper spraying more people on that day as well. Tom Massey is one of the other men the Philly PD is looking for. You'll recall he threw the first punches that ignited all of the violence of that weekend, which brought you and I to know one another. Their associate, Mike Longo Jr., stalked me, called in a false report of me brandishing a firearm, was present at the UVA brawl, and maced me without provocation on August 12th. I have attached an audio recording of my conversation with the Charlottesville police, where an officer informed me that the Commonwealth had no more interest in prosecuting this criminal than the FBI did. These goons have thusly felt emboldened to commit ever more crimes, convinced that they will face no repercussions. The recent dismissal of an assault charge against Dwayne Dixon, the man who got Heather Heyer killed, further exacerbates these problems. If you were to listen to a few episodes of The Radical Agenda, you might hear some callers express support for figures like Dylan Roof or Robert Bowers. When this happens, I try to convey to them that I understand their frustrations and the sense of urgency which drives men to make such tragic mistakes. I do this in the hopes that I'll be taken seriously when I say that these behaviors are not to be emulated, as they are destructive to our purposes. My fear, and I suspect it is well-founded, is that people who see what is going on and do not see lawful solutions to their problems will nonetheless emulate these behaviors. We vote, and the people we elect do not keep their promises. We speak out online, and we are censored. We protest in physical space and are chased off the streets by violent communist agitators. We defend ourselves, and we go to prison. We bring video evidence of crimes to the attention of law enforcement, and they actively side with terrorists and perjurers. Tragic and undesirable though it may be, it is not at all unpredictable that men with poor impulse control and grim prospects for the future lash out violently under these circumstances. They have no faith in their government, no leadership in their movement, and no means by which to address their concerns peacefully. The Justice Department could remedy this before Christmas simply by applying the same standard to the masked anarchists who brag about their crimes on social media as they do to the patriots presently suffering in the Albemarle-Charlottesville Regional Jail and the Virginia Department of Corrections. I took so much heat for talking to you guys, but I thought it was the right thing to do, so I did it anyway. By letting these thugs continue their crime wave while cracking down on Ram for far less, you have made a fool of me and the broader segment of our movement that seeks lawful and peaceful remedy to our concerns. The Jews make all this fuss that hate speech leads to hate crimes and try to see men like me silenced by whatever violence and deception they can get away with, but perhaps it would behoove those of us interested in stopping further violence to ask what leads to hate speech. That is a lengthy discussion, of course, but the lawlessness I've here described is certainly a major motivating factor. I write to you today in a sincere hope that you will take meaningful steps to correct that situation. I am confident that bringing even a few of these thugs to justice would literally save lives. Though sadly my experience thus far diminishes that hope, and I fear for the future of my country. I'll end by saying explicitly that I have no intention nor any knowledge of any other person's intention to commit any act of violence or commit any other act which would warrant your attention. The concerns I've here expressed are merely my observations of events and attitudes. I sincerely hope that I'm wrong. We are on a path. I'm done reading the letter now. We are on a path which I could hardly have even contemplated 4 years ago. No.